What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're going to be checking out the Transformers Legacy United Voyager class animated universe Optimus Prime. And I think this is a pretty banging update. Some of those original Transformers animated characters had some super distinctive design traits, which I think mostly have been brilliantly brought over to this brand new Legacy universe. As we directly compare this Prime to his OG character model, there are some differences in the proportions and the style of the design, but he is mostly easily recognisable as how he originally appeared in the show. And if this is a subline which is to continue, then I really am hoping that going forwards, all of the animated characters can be just as accurate as this Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. So as we check out the details, the face sculpt is looking bang on. Easily one of the most iconic design traits of any Optimus Prime. The details on the side of the helmet are looking great. Check out the inbuilt panel lining, which again is a great throwback to the OG animated design. And the chest unit is massive. Internally, it is packing some dashboard detail, which I thought was such a great touch because you only see it during transformation. And from the front, you know, he's mostly filled in. There's a bit of waffling going on for the thighs, but the forearms are stacked. Due to the way they've been engineered, they are filled in front, side to back, which is great. And as we check him out from the back, the profile is pretty much just as clean as the front. It is so nicely designed. You know, it's a little gappy, especially when you check out this hollow space above his ass, but besides that, a really solid Optimus. So definitely one of the highlights out of Legacy United for myself so far, and I really am now super excited for the inevitable Motormaster repaint. Now, as we check out Prime's accessories, the throwbacks to the older animated days continue, as this really could be a weapon designed for an older release. And upon first glance, it may appear to be quite small for the leader of the Autobots' weapon, but check this out. If you grab the base of the handle, bang! You can completely extend it so that Prime can wield this with both hands, and there's also a blast effect port in the back, so if you smack an effect in that, it can basically look like it's turbocharging into the battlefield, helping Prime to slice and dice some Decepticons. So this is awesome and is way better when compared to the original axe that came with the OG animated Prime. Now, checking out Prime's articulation, this guy was made to pose. So, in addition to the head being on a ball joint, he is also packing a hinge joint at the neck. So, this will look up and down, it can tilt side to side, rotate left to right. The shoulders can move all the way around, completely unhindered. They'll then kick out to the side. There is a bicep swivel, a double jointed elbow, which is supreme. The wrists are on ball joints, so these can rotate all the way around too. Check this out, they are completely filled in. So, no ugly ass gaps on the underside. The waist can rotate with no problem at all. The hips will kick forwards roughly to that far, then back to that far. They'll also go out to the sides. There is a thigh cut, a knee bend, which can go way past 90. Now, this is not due to transformation, although unfortunately these are a lot looser than I'd like. They can't really support the weight of this guy. I wish in some ways maybe they had packed in an indented ratchet joint, because that really would have benefited, especially during posing. And then finally for the ankles, due to transformation, technically they can rock forwards and backwards, although much like the knees, they can't support their own weight, so it's purely just to make him look good in some poses. And then finally, he does include a terrific ankle joint, so articulation wise is pretty decent. You know, had he come packing with an ab crunch, this guy would have been supreme. But to see the true power of a Prime, now let's put him through the pose test. Now, checking out some comparisons, on the right hand side we have the original Voyager class animated Optimus Prime. Now, this guy clearly is the more accurate between the two, but for this being a Legacy update, I still think he looks pretty banging, you know, easily recognisable in terms of the universe that he's come from. And the way I like to look at some of these Legacy updates is that when Doctor Strange travels through the multiverse, his body kind of changes depending on what universe he arrives in. So with this Prime being a little more chunky, you know, he's supposed to be fitting in with the G1 universe, I think he actually looks pretty awesome. And speaking of G1, G1, here we have the Earthrise Optimus Prime, and I thought it was kind of cool how they've also borrowed some design traits from this G1 Prime for animated Prime. So, for example, this guy's now packing kind of the arrows on the forearms and the grating detail on the shins, which are kind of a direct carryover from this design. So, I thought that was pretty cool. You know, they've definitely added way more surface detail onto this Legacy animated Prime when compared to the original character model. Here is how he stacks up against what is likely to not only be one of the best Optimus Primes in existence, but one of the best updates we've ever seen. Here is the Armada Universe Optimus Prime. And then for a general Voyager comparison, we have the Legacy Evolution Tarn, who was the first release for his subline, and the same can be said for this Optimus Prime. So if some of the future Voyagers for Legacy United are as good as this guy, then we are definitely in for a treat, because all round I think he's a pretty great banger. And then finally, here is how he stacks up alongside some other Legacy Animated Universe characters. We have Prowl and Bumblebee. So, at the moment, definitely some of the best updates I think we've so far seen from Legacy. But we've now had 3 Autobots. I really wouldn't mind for the next Animated Universe characters to be 3 Decepticons. I know there are some rumours that eventually we're going to be seeing Lockdown next year. So, I definitely hope this Optimus Prime isn't the last release for a while. Now, checking out Prime's transformation, it's actually really enjoyable. So, up first, kick the arm out to the side. You'll then want to take the fist, bring this gap filler down, and I really like how not only is the arm completely filled in, but he retains the articulation. That was something, unfortunately, which was lacking from the most recent Legacy leader, Tigerhawk. So, I am hoping they can keep this engineering going forwards because it is super effective. But then you'll want to take the hand, fold this inwards so the back part kind of slides into that gap. Then we can just snap that there into place. This tab is going to find itself going into that slot. So bend here at the elbows and then line this up, snap that there into place. And then what you'll do is you'll take the shoulder joint and rotate this here around like that. Do the same here for this side. So kick the arm out to the side, bring the gap filler down, take the fist, rotate this backwards, snap that up, and then combine both halves just like this. Then rotate the arm all the way around to the back. So these are going to be the side windows. They have to be literally facing upwards like that. Then what you'll do is you'll take Prime's chest unit, pull this forward slightly, spin around here to the back, take the backpack and detach this like that. Then what you'll do is take these wheels and detach these away from the center of the torso. Now do the same here for this side. That will then completely free this up so we can hinge that there up like that. Then what you'll do is take this grey piece, hinge this upwards, and at the same time, you'll want to begin moving this joint, and then you'll take this wheel and fold this all the way down. Now, this cannot slide underneath that slot until that wheel is fully collapsed in like that. So, now that's done, that will snap into place, and we can bring that there up. Do the same here for this side. So again, bring this up slightly, take this wheel here, collapse that down, and that will create for enough clearance for us to snap that piece there into place. Then we'll take the front part of Prime's chest and line this up perfectly with all of the slots. Then you're going to take Prime's backpack and again slide this over the top, snap that into place. It will become the truck's roof, and then you're going to want to make use out of this joint. So not the waist joint, this additional one which you only use for transformation. Spin this here all the way around until you are now left with something that looks like this. Then we can begin work here on the legs, which are surprisingly quite involved. So you're going to want to take the feet, extend these down, extend these here forwards. Then you're going to want to take this panel. Now take the wheel which is on the outside and just basically pull this here away, completely extending that there down. Then we are left with these 2 little tabs which are going to slide into those slots. So just snap those there into place. Now you're going to take this hinge joint, bring this here all the way up, and there are some tabs on the inside of this which are going to slide into these grooves. So bring those up, snap those there into place, and do the exact same here for this side. So again, take the front of the foot, bring it down, pull it forwards, take the outside of the leg, bring this here away, completely extending that joint. Then we can make use of these tabs. They're going to slide into these slots, so snap them in there. Then for this step, you're actually going to hook this slot over this tab. That will combine both of the legs to really form the trailer bed. Then we're going to spin this here all the way up, snap that into place. There are 2 tiny little slots here which are going to go into those tabs, so snap those into place. And bang! Here we have Animated Universe Optimus Prime fully transformed into his truck mode, and it is pretty spot on to how it appeared in the old TV show. The details from the front and the side are looking sick, and the back of the truck I'm not the biggest fan of, although it's definitely interesting. I personally would have rather had these flipped to the underside, although both soles of feet are packing these very distinctive slots. Now this makes me think that maybe in the future we could see this Optimus Prime reissued with maybe a trailer or a jetpack, because there is a reason why these slots are here. I can't think of anything at the moment which would be compatible with them, so watch this space. I definitely don't think it's the last we've seen of this Prime, and all 6 wheels do roll out super smoothly on the ground, so he shouldn't have any issues in giving Bumblebee a run for his money. He's packing the light bar up top, which is a separate piece. I imagine this is due to the upcoming Motormaster repaint, but yeah, overall, for the most part, definitely a solid truck mode to accompany a pretty banging looking robot mode. So, checking out a few comparisons, on the right hand side we have the original Voyager animated Optimus Prime. So, this legacy release is definitely a great remake. I mean, very faithful to the original design, and surprisingly there's not so much of a difference in terms of the scale when it comes to the truck form. Here is how he stacks up alongside the original G1 Earthrise Optimus Prime. The Transformers Commander Class Armada Prime, which is actually a unit in terms of his truck mode. I mean, check out how massive that truck bed is. For that general Voyager comparison, here we have the Legacy Evolution Tarn. So, scale-wise, again, I think these stack up quite nicely, being paired alongside each other. And bringing in some of those Legacy Animated Universe characters, up first we have Deluxe Class Prowl, who unfortunately doesn't scale at all alongside this Optimus Prime in vehicle mode, although the aesthetic is very similar to one another. And then finally here we have the Animated Bumblebee, who surprisingly I think is in scale, so that is definitely an upgrade when compared to the original pairing, because that OG Deluxe Bumblebee was way oversized, stacked up alongside the original Voyager Prime, whereas I think these two pair up very nicely. And so, wrapping up on this review for the Transformers Legacy United Animated Universe Optimus Prime. I think it's a great update. You know, the robot and the truck mode definitely take a lot of inspiration from how Prime originally appeared in the old animated TV show, but much like we've seen from both Bumblebee and Prowl, he has been slightly updated to better fit in with this G1 aesthetic that Hasbro have been going for in recent years, but I think it works so well. The articulation is decent for a Voyager, the accessory I think is banging, transformation, super straightforward but incredibly effective. The front of the truck mode looks brilliant, you know, a great throwback again to the original animated design. I'm not the biggest fan of the trailer hitch, although as I mentioned previously, I definitely think they have plans to maybe reissue this guy in the future with either a jetpack or a trailer, because there are two very distinctive slots which you do not use in either mode, and as I mentioned, I can't find anything which at the moment is compatible with them. So definitely watch this space. I am intrigued to see as to what they're going to do in terms of reissues and re-releases, but overall it's definitely a really solid Optimus, a great entry into the Legacy United line, and I'm hoping this animated subline continues, hopefully with some Decepticons. I would love to get your thoughts on animated Optimus Prime down in the comment section below, and until my next review, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Transform and roll out!